everyone, and welcome back to our weekly Friday webinar. I'm very excited today because we got something different. So last week we did a review really about Business Boost, and I like to do that a little bit every week. Um, but today I'm going to do that, but I want to share with you somebody that you've heard about, especially if you were a part of the 4-day intensive. Y'all know I was talking about Ray. So today I'm excited to share Ray with you, right? So I've got to do this. I got to look at my notes so that I won't forget what I'm supposed to talk about.
Okay.
Because when we get together, you all, Ray and I will start cutting up. So pay attention to my notes. Okay. Um, yes. So I usually start off talking about my mug of the day. My mug of the day says, oh my gosh, I always take a sip and then I put lipstick on there. And then y'all see my lipstick. Anyway, it says bloom where you are planted. Can you see that or is it backwards?
I love it.
Bloom where you're planted. And so sometimes I grab a mug that I need or one that just speaks to me. And I'm feeling both this time. I grabbed it and like, ooh, intuitively, I really need to share that with y'all. So wherever you are in your journey, hope you have a beverage with you this morning. Wherever you are in your journey, you got to be thinking about just blooming wherever you are. Wherever you are is the right place. That's where you're supposed to be right now. So right now, let me go and do my little review. So this is important though. I'm kind of silly because Ray and y'all bring out the silliness in me, but it's important that we talk about Business Boost. Some of y'all started in September, so you're kind of ahead of the game, and needed to be ahead of the game because those that started in September have a lot going on. And some of you all started this month, but wherever you are, this is a perfect time for this moment. So if you recall, with throughout our schedule through Business Boost, every week you should be going through something. So like that first week, you're talking about clarifying your vision. And again, if you were part of the 4-day intensive, you got a jump start on clarifying your vision and just starting to put those things together, giving yourself time and space to get clear. Like the program allows like a full 4 weeks to start that journey, right? And then to know what your next steps are going to be, to schedule out your day to day. I always say it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to 45 minutes to stay on task, right? And then you get to into a little rhythm around the third week, and then you get to pause. So last week we spent a little time on pause, like why it's important to pause, why it's important to reflect on like say what these weeks have meant for you, where you've been in your journey, where do you need to pivot, important time to pause. And a lot of you all shared with me things that you were challenged with. And it's like, this is the time where the challenges come up, family challenges, health challenges, business client challenges, surprise invoices in the mail, right? Or bills in the mail. That's what happens at this time every time. So if you had a challenge, just know like I said last week, the pause is important. And so I'm happy today to have Ray with us. And she's perfect for this portion of the journey. And I want to remind you all, if you are a part of Business Boost, you already get a session with Ray. So I'm not going to do something for you that I have not done for myself. Let me do a quick review of who Ray is. I'm not even going to read the bio. I did put it in your email, but I'm going to go off the top of my head so I can just highlight the things that are most important for us today. Ray is a master practitioner when it comes to evidence-based mindset coaching. She has so many certifications. I can't even remember them all, but master the hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, neuroscience, all the things that you need, that we all need in this journey. Because we can't, one, I always say every week, we can't do this journey alone, but not only can we not do it alone, we shouldn't. And then the next piece is there are tools for us. So Ray's going to share some tools with us. You might be wondering, like, where did I find this amazing person? And I wanted to share with you that like Ray is a mirror of my heart in terms of like her passion for humanity, the desire to expand healing around the planet. And also, I would say a treasure chest of tools that we as women can especially benefit from. I've studied a lot of different programs, business development programs or personal development programs, and I have not come across a program that includes the pause. The pause is for us as women to tap into our superpower, which is intuition. Now, I know everybody has intuition. It's not a male or female thing, but it's very feminine to pause and be okay. And then from that place, do the bounce. So today, Ray's going to talk with us. Well, I'm going to interview a little bit. She's going to talk to us about these tools, why they're important, and, help us implement them in our daily lives so that we'll be able to face challenges. Every day we're facing challenges. Life will never be like easy peasy, right? You're always going to be hit with something to throw you off course if you don't have a stabilizer. And I used to wince at that because I wanted to be so good at this stuff, right, that I was never thrown off. And then I thought about a great feminine element, the ocean
Mhm.
has ebb and flow. So if the ocean is doing its thing, of course, my life is going to be doing a thing too, right? The goal is to make sure there are tools in place to help us. So I'm gonna just jump right in. Ray, I don't know if you want to say a few things before we get started, or if you want to go right into um the interview.
I'll just say hi to everyone and grateful for Zen. We have a natural and beautiful connection. And that's all I want to say.
See, y'all don't know. That's why I have to keep to my notes. Ray and I, we have our little team meetings at least once a week. And we're involved in other projects together. So when I say she is a mirror of my heart, I'm not just saying that for you all. We have this very strong connection. So let's not drag them into that, Ray. Let me
Okay. All
focus
right.
on our interview.
We'll behave.
Yes, we will behave. We'll try. We'll try.
Okay.
But it's good because I want people to actually see our relationship, because my circle here, that I'm sharing you with, of course, I've talked about you as one of the team players, as our resident, right? Our resident expert in this stuff, but they haven't met you personally,
All
right? So
right.
they got to see our little jazz and know how well, we work together. Okay, okay, okay. Let me jump into this. The first question is, why is it important to pause?
Oh, that can be answered on so many different levels, couldn't it? Let's start with the body. A pause is important for the body. For those of us that are wanting to make something happen in the world, even if it's mostly joyful, let's face it, creating a business is a series of problems to solve. And problems can create stress. Now, stress isn't bad for motivation at all. However, we want to be able to manage it, right? So the pause is important for our nervous system. to settle. And the more often during the day we can settle our nervous system, the more we can then reboot into being motivated and activity again. On a mental level, the pause, and we'll get into this a little later in our conversation, allows us to access a part of the brain that actually more readily connects us with our intuition. And science does say there is such a thing as intuition. It is scientifically validated. The pause also helps us access the part of the brain that does ahas and new insights. And so for that access to that reason or why can be amplified through a pause. The other thing a pause does is it actually does connect us more. So once again, pauses takes us to that part of the brain that does social connectiveness. And in studies that were done with monks and nuns, it takes us into the part of the brain that a monk or a nun is accessing when they meditate or do contemplative prayer. So there's a lot of benefit for pausing. And later we'll get into how to pause, what to add to your pause scientifically that will up level it to a whole new level.
I love that. Even as you were explaining it, I just started slowing down, right? Because we jumped in here and I was doing a few things. And as you were talking about it, I realized to make this even more meaningful just for myself, I need to pause. And so that leads into the next question. So you're saying, I mean, you're explaining why it's important to do it, right? And so I
Mhm.
immediately started to do it as you were talking. So how often should we do it?
Well, science shows that optimal pausing throughout the day, and once again, we'll go into a little exercise that will show you how to do a 1 minute pause. That 1 minute pause is recommended or optimal 12 times a day. So that would roughly be once an hour. You can do it more and you can do it less. Generally speaking, when I work with people, I think at least four a day to get some traction, but 12 is optimal.
12 is optimal.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense, Ray, because I was dealing with I'm going to make the correlation. I was dealing with some health challenges. My doctor put me on a protocol to stabilize me hormonally and all these things that were happening in my body. It was crazy. But it was around this 12-hour thing. I mean, 12, like, so I had to drink water. And then the next time I had to eat something there, some sort of snack or fuel for my body. And it was like this whole cycle. So as you're
Mhm.
saying that, I just got an insight that although that was focused on my body and my healing, it was also helping me holistically because I was pausing, because I would pause and bless my food or bless my water, right? Let's not get into Dr. Emoto's stuff, right? We can get into the water and then we'll be off on another thing. So thank you for helping me make that connection to how important it is to pause. And I got my health together right away. Like it was in a
Mhm.
matter of 2 months and I released about 40 pounds.
Mm.
Um, all of my joy came back like consistently. Taking care of yourself, right? So I'm gonna
Yeah.
let that stew a little bit because I haven't been implementing the pauses the way we're talking about it, being conscious of it. Okay, so now that we understand what it is, kind of,
kind of.
and how often we could be doing it, like you said, just start out, just start. And I
Hmm.
think I know that in just starting, it will influence you to continue because the results are so beautiful. You're like, oh,
Yes,
let me do that
yeah,
again, right?
they really are.
So
They're life changing. And so, for everyone out there, it is life changing to take these pauses throughout your day. It creates so much more than one might think in the beginning. It really does.
so like just try it, right?
All right, give it a
Listen,
go.
this is a very open group. I am an attorney, I talk legal, business, tax strategy, and I infuse all of this. And they ain't go running yet, right? They're still leaning in.
Right,
So this is I'm blessed to have a circle of women that are open to the possibilities of what
great.
thriving in business could be like, from thriving from a tapped in, a plugged in, soft, intuitive space. So, um, okay. So we talked about what it is, how often you could do it, or should do it, or work yourself up to doing it. I want to know, we're still talking about
Hmm.
the pause, but I want to know how you personally got started in this work.
Oh, my journey of self-development has been going on for, I can actually say this, 50 years. So that's a long time. And so that is why you see I have so many certifications. I don't know why I was interested. Maybe because of having a little bit of a difficult childhood that can make or break us, although the science shows that people that have difficult childhoods actually have more resilience than most. So I came out of that childhood resilient and seeking to find something better for myself. So I started studying different things and learned business. You know, I thought making money was the answer, and I did make a lot of money, and I still found that there was something missing. So I kept seeking, certainly had a spiritual um, desire, but also a psychological one. And that's what took me to studying with so many. And in 1990, I had a divorce and a car accident that then took me deeper, more deeply into my search. I stopped working altogether because I had enough money to not work. And I went on a very deep and intense healing journey. And I wanted a new identity. I wanted to remake myself into someone who was joyful about life. And I did. And so, in this journey of doing so many things, I really discovered that I improved myself and I took two steps forward. But what I found was difficulty sustaining my changes. So that went on for a long time. Now, life did get better. I had already proved I could organize a business and succeed that way. So that was a non-issue for me. The journey was more, can I have equanimity and be motivated at the same time, which is that's a big ask. And about 7 or 8 years ago now, I ran across Mark Robert Waldman, and I he had a coaching course in neuroscience. And I had done one of his programs and really liked the benefit that I got from it. And I became his student, and then I helped him out with some business advice and became his friend. And now I co-teach with him once a month. And I found, I don't know if any of you do puzzles, but there's a place when you're doing, let's say, a jigsaw puzzle where you put a piece into the puzzle and all of a sudden the puzzle makes sense. So I had been accruing all these different skills from different modalities: hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, art and movement therapy, studying archetypes, you name it, pretty much I've done it. But when I discovered the neuroscience and how our brain works, and that we have agency and choice to utilize how our brain works in a way that benefits us and it benefits others too. I felt like I had found that piece that pulled everything together, if that makes sense. Some people don't do jigsaw puzzles, so we could just say that that aha moment where everything crystallizes. And so from there on, the last 7 years, I have diligently studied brain science and developed processes uh, that really are revolutionary. They really help. They stick. There isn't the two steps forward and one and 7/8 steps back over time. Once you make a change using neuroscience techniques, the brain biologically shifts and changes. So it's the difference between software and hardware. This goes into your hardwiring. So you know me, Zen, I could go on and on. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to do a pause now here. And
No, the way you just explained your journey,
Mhm,
and actually that's how you and I met. For life just brought us together to Mark, right? So I was
mhm.
actually referred to Mark from John Assaraf. And how long we worked together with Mark for at least 2 years before we started our own thing.
Yes. Yeah. I kept seeing you in the classes and thinking, I want to get to know her.
Yeah. And so you really explain a lot. So I don't even know if the next question is because you covered it. The question was simply this, is this woo-woo or is there a science to it all? And I think you explained that. Um, if you want to share a little bit more about the science, you can and lead us right into the session because I want everyone to experience it with us, with me, what
Yes.
it's like to do this work together with you.
Okay. So I think two things. Um, One, to give a little neurological map and to know that you can watch this again. It takes a little while for everyone to get their head around this map. But I'm going to give a very simplistic map of what Zen and I are going to be doing. And then we'll start with a mindful minute, Zen, and then just morph right into, whatever we're going to do if you're all right with that, so that they have that peace for themselves. And so one of the distinctions of the work that Zen and I learned from Mark over a lot of brain science you see out there is Mark is very focused on brain network interactivity. So what does that mean? Well, you have many, many, many networks in your body. It's how we see, it's how we perceive reality, right? There's three major networks though that all of us utilize that give us our sense of the world, our perception of the world, and the meaning we make out of what we see or experience in the world. So those three networks are here, the network that sets goals and sees things. It's basically turns on when we wake up in the morning, and it's seeking a promise of reward. It's called the Central Executive Network. Then there's a network up here that does strategy making, meaning making, predictions, all right, imagination. And that's called the default mode network. I think it's called that because unless we do something, it's on all the time. So we default to it. All right. Then there's a third network that these two networks most people are looping all throughout the day. There's a third network we work with called the salience network, is where
Mm.
it's deeper down, and that's what you access when you pause. That does intuition, insights, social connectedness, wisdom. It activates when we're curious. So we're going to do a little exercise today. Zen and I will go through it. We'll do the mindful minute, Zen. And I don't know because we're in a flow if we'll do exactly a minute or less than a minute. But if you go through this, it will have you move from this network to this network down to this network. Now, science shows us that if you successfully rotate these three networks, you can create a state of flow. So flow, that optimal state that uh, athletes get, when they're doing a 40-foot ski jump. Now, that's a super optimal state where certain neurochemicals that are coming in that produce bliss. We might not achieve bliss today, but we will achieve a different state of mind if you embrace this little practice and do it with us. So Zen, you want to take us through it or you want me to take us through it? I'll take us through it. I'll take us through it.
Okay.
So now there's a reason for everything we're doing, and it can seem a little cuckoo, but we're going to do three luxurious stretches and yawns. Now I'm going to tell you ahead of time what they do. A stretch and a yawn activates your vagus nerve, which moves from the base of your brain all the way down to your pelvis. So you're going to get a calming of your nervous system. A stretch and a yawn also increases the cerebral spinal fluid flow in your spine, and it thermoregulates the brain. It washes the brain and cools it down. So you get a lot of biological benefit from doing these stretches and yawns. All right. After that, we're going to go into sensory, I'll talk us through sensory awareness. And then we're going to access something that has deep meaning for us, and we're going to savor it.
Mm.
Now, when we do that, by the time we're done with this, we'll have reduced our stress level in 24 hours by at least 50%. The other thing that we'll be doing is we'll be releasing serotonin, which is a feel-good chemical, neurochemical, and helps us stay motivated on a very even keel. If we're proud of what we've done, we'll release a little dopamine, which all of this is good stuff. These are the good neurochemicals that antidote stress. So let's start. So we're going to do a stretch and yawn. And we joke around in the neuro community that it's okay for people to see you with your mouth open. If you can't get a yawn, fake it till you make it. There is a trick you can do. You can smile with your eyes open. I mean, excuse me, with your mouth open, like this, and breathe in, and it can help you yawn.
Uh,
It's all right to make noise.
mm, mm,
That last one was good for me. Now we're going to move into some sort of sensory awareness. And as we do, allow that inner thoughts like a dialogue of what is Ray doing or um, wondering what's going to happen next or any of that. That's called inner speech. We want to just let it slow down. So we're going to slow it down as we gently produce a
Mm.
pleasant sensation. I always like to rub right here. This soothes me instantly. And then just close your eyes and give yourself over to the pleasantness and the calming that that self-soothing can produce. And as you slow things down more and more, notice just a moment of stillness. Can you actually be still? If for some reason you can't quiet down, just do another stretch and yawn. And then out of that stillness, allow a word that expresses something that you cherish, something that has deep meaning for you that you value. What'd you get, Zen?
Value that's coming up for me, one word, right?
Ideally, one word. If you speak in sentences, you still haven't accessed the say. You most likely are still up here in this guy, the meaning making guy.
It's patience,
Interesting. I love that.
surprisingly.
Yeah, patience. Mine was kindness. Kindness. So patience and kindness.
That's so interesting
It is, isn't it?
because my full one was I can be more kind to myself by being patient.
Oh, I love that. I love
Then you
that.
say kindness.
I love that. Well, when we think about kindness too, there is an element of patience to kindness, isn't there? If we're being kind, we're most likely slowing down enough to be present with others. There seems to be an amplification that happens when you do this with someone. There's power in now it's definitely good to do it by ourselves, but there's an amplification that happens when we do it with someone. So I'm feeling that right now.
Mm. Yeah.
So Zen, what would you like to do a session on today? A little mini session.
Yeah, because you said something about the reboot,
Yeah.
and it made me think about in this program we call it bounce. It really is a reboot in order to go on to the next, to handle the next thing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's do it. We can do a mini session.
All right. So in neurocoaching, I'm just going to explain a little for the audience so they know what we're up to. So in neurocoaching, there's a thing we do called streaming where I'm going to ask them to just talk for a minute about what she's doing, but I'm going to also ask her to pause every now and then if I see she's running on. It's not a criticism, it's a neurological benefit to pause. We're doing that for a reason. When we're talking, we're mostly activated up here with this guy. Remember, this one does the meaning making, the storytelling, the strategy making, the predictions, right? However, if we're going to get a change or an innovative idea, we have to access the salience network. So when I ask Zen to pause, it's going to be so that she can access the salience network. And since you've all experienced the stretching and yawning, I may ask her and both of us to stretch and yawn. The stretch and the yawn is the elevator ride down into the salience network. So it's the quickest and easiest way to get there. After one is does this hopefully between 4 and 12 times a day, you'll get very adept about at accessing the salience network. So I know Zen can access her salience network, but I'll be asking her to stretch and yawn so you all get to see what it's like to be in a session with me. All right, Zen, just talk. What would you like to explore?
A challenge, like something. Okay, let me see. Real-time challenge. Um, I'm a little bit or a lot of it concerned about implementing technology
Mm,
within my business so that I can reach more people in this way, just to share the information, and it gives me a little anxiety.
all right. So let's just sit with that for a moment. Maybe do a stretch and yawn. So, what about that makes you anxious? What's going on that makes you anxious?
I have a history of thinking that if I want it done well, I have to do it myself. And so, although I have grown to the point where I can delegate tasks,
Mhm.
I still know in the back of my mind, if they screw up, I can jump in and fix it. Not with this. Not with this
Okay.
stuff. The digital marketing. I can't jump in and fix anything. So that gives me a little bit of anxiety.
Hmm. Hmm. So, one of the things we might want to notice is there could be a belief underneath all of this that you always have to do everything. Is that correct?
And my desire to be responsible, I think I have picked up that
Okay.
belief.
Yeah. So let's do some self-soothing. And then you let me know when you're in the salience network. It seems like that there was something about that that landed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do a stretch and yawn too. Even now, sometimes we don't feel like doing a stretch and yawn, but we still want to try to do one. Mm.
Mm.
And just nod your head when you know you're in the salience network. Let me know when you're there. All right. So now, first thought, best thought. Give me an insight. What's an insight?
Uh, Ray, why are we doing this when recording? I'll just start crying. Oh my
This was
God. Okay,
your
I can do it. I
this
can
was
do it.
your idea, Zen.
I can do it. I can do it. So what? The right person or team will support me in the way I need for my digital marketing, right? Um, Once I let go of the need to control
So
that.
let's take a moment to really savor that. Really, really take that in what you just said. Now I wrote it down, so I'm gonna read it back to you. The right person or team will support me in the way that I need. Once I let go of the need to control. I have a response to that. You want to hear it?
Of course.
That that is so powerful, Zen. That's so powerful. So let's do another stretch and a yawn. I know there's emotions. Now we never want to suppress emotions, but we can interrupt and distract thoughts. So right now, this guy up here is going to want to jump in and make all kinds of meaning and story and predictions, but we're going to just access the salience network once again. Fastest way, especially when we're feeling emotions, is a stretch and a yawn. And we'll just let the emotions be. They're important. They're an important part of our expression, aren't they? So let's do some more stretching and yawning.
And you all, I want to jump in and say, if you're in a situation where you can't stretch and yawn, you can do the micro movement. Sometimes
Yes.
I'm in tense situations, maybe in court or in it's just a situation. You can do it under the table.
Yes,
These micro movements
we often
can
do.
help.
That, thank you, Zen, for that. And having the presence Zen just wonderful. Here she's going through something herself and she has the presence of mind to help everybody else. The the other thing is breathing in and out through your nose and just noticing the sensation in your nostrils. And you can do that quietly when you're in a meeting or somewhere. You give all of your attention to how the air is a little warmer when it comes out than when it comes in. You notice things like that. So back into the salience networks then. Now, with all of you, there's some education that needs to happen. I won't be saying go into your salience network. I'll be guiding you into it. But for the sake of time today with Zen, I'm just going to ask her to access her salience network and then let me know when you're there. All right. So another insight. What's another insight? Just let it come.
What's coming up is, one of my favorite phrases from the Abundance book, where he talks about let go and let God. And I think I'm good at that, but this is showing me that this is an area of my life where I haven't, and I can practice that in my business, um, in this particular area. Like I thought I was good at it. This is letting me know an area that I can grow in.
Yeah. So allow yourself to sit with that for a moment. And then, as best as you can, in 10 words or 20 if you have to, express that to me again. Now, the reason we ask for a repeat with less words is it causes the networks in our brain to come get it down to what's more essential to us.
When I, not if I, when I let go and let God, the right, s- the perfect support for me will be drawn to me, will be
Mm.
a perfect match. Like I have that with you, I have that with each one of my clients. So I'm very well practiced in that. This is showing me I can let go and let God and attract a digital marketing support team.
Okay.
Is that 10 words? Like, let go.
No, but that's all right. We let it go because one of the things that happens is as we get these insights and ahas, we get a new learning. And what I'm witnessing is you doing that. You're getting a whole new innovative learning that you haven't had before, right? Like this is new. So now that you've gotten it, so then this guy wants to take it and run with it. Oh yeah, we can do this and we can do this, and that's great. That's part of how it works. But let's return to the salience network again and get it down once again to less words and see what happens. It'll be fun to watch the recording and watch uh, what each one does for you.
Okay, go.
All right, you got it. All right, go.
Let go. Let God allow my perfect match in
You can do 20.
marketing, right?
Okay, you have let go, let God allow my perfect match in marketing. How's that feel?
Feels really good, especially when I made the connection of how we came together and how each one of my clients and I came together and all this magic that happens. So since I've done it in those other areas, I can do it here too. I always tell everyone like in the group, I'm like, pat yourself on the back of the things you've done, and it'll give
Yes.
you inspiration that you can do it again in another area or so this is thank you. I would have never put
Thank you,
that
Zen.
together like that, but thank you for guiding me to that new insight.
Yes. It's the power of neurocoaching that's distinctly different than other modalities, is we don't explore why do I do this or any of that. It's very direct. We cut to the chase. If we're looking at a building, I love psychology. I'm certified in psychological processes. But if we compare it to a building, it's like a house. So our psychology is like the first and second floor of the house. But what Zen and I just did is we went down to the basement and the foundation and we changed that. And then the psychology follows that neurological change. So that's simply how it works. It's powerful, it's direct, it's fast, it does not unwind. If we did this properly, now in a session where we're not, we have more time, I double down on this a little and get more insights and really nail it. But I think Zen demonstrated with the let go, let God, and allow my perfect match in marketing. I think it demonstrates that she did do a real biological shift and change. We'll see. We'll see. Some issues, most issues can be taken care of in one session. Some issues take two or three, but each time we get a slice of the pie and that change sticks. It does not unravel because it isn't just an idea up here in this network. We did the internetwork switching, and the brain actually will absorb little molecules with the new meaning. and it drops the molecules that have the old meaning out. So that's why I say the hardware gets rewired.
I love that.
You're,
We often talk about how important 90 days is, a minimum of 90 days. We were talking about that the other day, that the brain needs that, right? And
yes,
again, if I know, then, this is the 90-day challenge business boost. I know you need 90 days to make a transformation in your business, but we
yes,
also need to be growing right along with our business in order to sustain it. So I
yes,
want to encourage everyone to take advantage. If you are part of Business Boost, take advantage of this opportunity. This is already built into the program for you. Um, to be getting these little insights. This is so good. I feel amazing. Ray, listen, that was so
no, it's
good.
powerful. It's
I wasn't
powerful.
even ready. I'm like reaching around, where's the tissue? That was so good, Ray. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad that you agreed to come on and that I could introduce you to my people. Um
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I'm glad I wasn't prepared, right? So I'm glad you were writing my insights down for me. Now, when you all meet with Ray, make sure you have a pen
Yes,
pencil ready because as I always say, when you get the insights, when you say them and when you write them down, that's going to make sure it doesn't dissipate. Like you wake up
yes,
from an amazing
exactly.
dream and you didn't write it down in 20
Yeah.
minutes, you forgot what the dream was.
Yeah. The part of the
Regardless,
brain that
no.
gets the insight does not remember it. So you have to
Right.
write it down to remember it.
So make sure y'all show up to Ray with your pen and pencil ready, ready to stretch and yawn. Oh, I'm so thankful I have a little half an hour break before I start office hours with Zen because I want to journal about this
Yeah.
transformation that I've had right now on the spot with you of something I didn't even realize was weighing on me. Um, That was beautiful. So I am inviting you all to take advantage of something that's already built into the program. Yes, you do get your one-on-ones with me, but I don't want you to feel that because you're having that time with me, you don't need this too. It's holistic, especially as women. We don't like, okay, I'm in business mode now, I'm in friend mode now. It's all together. So I know
Mhm.
if you have bought in, and you have, that you need 90 days for your business to shift, please, please consider, I implore you that you want to include this kind of work as well. So
Yes. It's a good thing to do before you meet with Zen because you'll get your ducks in a row better. In other words, if we're thinking of being the most effective and getting the most out of what Zen has to offer you, if you clear out something like you just witnessed happen with Zen before you meet with her, you'll be more on point when you meet with her. Most likely. Most likely. It'll be helpful. It's doing your prep work on yourself.
absolutely. You just
Yeah.
shared so many gems today.
Hmm.
One that's sticking out with me. You said about children that have had challenging uh childhoods, people that have challenging childhoods, the resilience. And I
Yes.
immediately let myself off the hook about, as a mother still carrying the guilt of a divorce. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
I think I'm gonna have, I'm seeing my children extremely resilient.
yes.
So all these little things, y'all, you have to touch base with Ray because she just shared that. That wasn't even part of the session. She has so much wisdom and she's so credentialed. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. This is a part of Business Boost, and you need to be doing it. Your business may transform with me one-on-one, but when the Business Boost is over, you need to have made the transformation within yourself to continue, right? To
Yes.
sustain the work
Yeah.
you put into your business. So
Exactly.
Ray, I'm going to give you the last word. Is there anything that's insight that's coming up for you that you want to share with the ladies?
Just appreciation. Um, One of the best things we can do is drop into gratitude often. When you get a session with me, So when you get a session with me, if you're curious about that, you can ask me. But gratitude, I think, connects us for those of us that do believe in a divine presence. I think it opens the door to that. And once again, neurologically, it releases all kinds of good neurotransmitters and chemicals that help us with motivation and help us keep taking that next step forward. But I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling gratitude. This was fun.
See you all. You know this is my sister because I never close out without having a moment of gratitude. I thank you all for taking the time today to, I guess, share a vulnerable moment with me that I don't know what I was thinking was going to happen. I thank you all for that. And I thank you, Ray, because I know you have a lot going on too. I know you're super busy in all the things. I thank you for being a part of Dream Lawyer support team and being willing to work with our clients the way you do. And I don't know, I'm just almost at a loss of words. My heart is so full. So for you all that are interested in working with Ray, I need you to text I'm in 646-859-3915. Just text I'm in, and you'll definitely receive a link to her calendar. In fact, I'm going to follow up with an email to everyone, but you'll get a link to her calendar. This is a part of your membership. Take advantage of it. This is a part of Business Boost. Take advantage. If they say don't leave money on the table, I'm saying don't leave tools on the table that can help you make that money. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day, evening, weekend, whenever you're getting a chance to view this. And I will see you next week in the next one.